That's just the way it is. But I'm going to ask you a question. The main thing that people want to do is find themselves. You ever heard anybody say that? I've just got 4 kids and I'm sick of it and I need to find myself. You ever heard anybody say that? I need to find out who I am. Who am I? I was conned into this relationship and I had 4 kids before I knew it. I hate him. And you look at him, he's still sitting there. He's like, I hate him. Because we vibrate these thoughts. Guess what? People look to find out who they are and they go to a psychologist. The psychologist sits down and he asks you about your life. And you tell him your story. If it wasn't for such and such, I would be important. If it wasn't for this teacher, if it wasn't for that guy, see that guy, I trusted him. If it wasn't for that woman, you'd be okay. So what happens is, when we try and find ourselves in our past, guess what? We'll never ever find it. Because I'll ask you a question. I'll ask you because you're smiling. All right, I'll teach you to smile. When you were 5 years of age, are you a different person today? Yeah. 10 years of age? 15? Different person from when you were 5? And now that you're 21? How do you feel? Could you go back into your past and discover who you are from that? No.
Probably not. You'd like to, though.
No. What you would do is, those are only experiences. When we have experiences, we relate them to who we are. We say, I am this because of that. I'm a warrior. Anybody ever said that? Eh? I'm a happy person. My name is Debbie. What we do at different ages will never ever tell you who you are. Because guess what? How many people in here, not that anybody in here would ever be like this, but how many of us in here have ever been in a relationship, or we know people that have been in a relationship that are still going on about it years later? Yeah? You know people? Maybe even yourself. Sometimes we've got to look in the mirror. But you're good. Because guess what? When you're relating what you did then, you're going through the experience in your mind, and your body has a chemical change. Every single thought that you have has a chemical change. Results from every thought that you relate to who you think you are. That causes illnesses. It causes ulcers. I used to have ulcers. Remember I used to have ulcers, Emma? I used to eat Rennies by the dozen. Rennies and me, I almost bought the company, I liked them so much. Rennies and me could not be parted. I do not have ulcers anymore. I used to have white finger. I used to work in the wood cutting trees down. In the morning I'd waken up, less than 10 years ago, a little bit more than 10 years ago, and I'd have to open every finger one at a time. Because guess what? I was a woodcutter. I told my story. I had my story. My story was I had white finger. I believed I had white finger. Guess what? When I forgot my story and realized those were only experiences and realized the scientific fact that my body is changing constantly, why shouldn't it change for good things? So guess what? I don't need Rennies anymore. And guess what? I don't have white finger anymore. It disappeared. My skin got better. Because my thinking had disappeared. I eradicated thinking. I can only tell you that each of you are where you are because you're thinking. Now that sounds strange. Isn't it so? That as a man thinketh, so is he. That I think, therefore I am. These are famous quotations. We're taught to think. In fact, you know what I tell people not to think, and I tell them a whole reasons that I'm giving you just now, and I'll say, what are you going to do about it? I'll go home and think about that. It's either true or it's not true. Hopefully I'm trying to tell you the basics of where I get to today, and what will help you in your exams. How many of you have a mental block when it comes to exams? None of you. Debbie? Deborah? You have a mental block? You don't like written exams. There you go. You've made that decision. So guess what happens during your exam? It becomes very difficult, doesn't it? You made that decision. We're controlled by what we believe our emotions to be. We're waking up in the morning and we will feel fantastic. We will go out into the world and we'll meet people that are not feeling so fantastic, and we will wonder why they are not feeling fantastic like we do. Like I do. I'm fantastic. The next day we're waking up feeling kind of bad. That feeling, you know, when you're angry and nothing seems to be going right, and then you meet a happy person, and you go, I don't know what they're happy about. You ever experienced that? Have you ever experienced that? Oh, yeah. Because we think we are our emotions. We are not our emotions. Let me tell you what we are. Those emotions are just simply emotions. Isn't that amazing? The thought that you have is just a thought. Is that incredible? Just a thought. It's nothing else. It can't be anything else. It can only be as it is. So you only think it really exists. It's right now. This very moment you're in is the only moment it exists. So you want to make a transitional change in your whole system? Just don't worry about the past. Don't keep bringing it up as your story. Because it's only a story. She was a bit of a... Was she?
No, she was all right.
Was it was you then? You are a bumptious, arrogant person. I'm only kidding. I'm only having fun.
No, you're not for that.
You wish you could bring it back again? I'm only kidding. I'm having a bit of fun. I'm trying to make it a bit light-hearted. But the seriousness of it all, folks, is that whatever age you're at will never determine who you are. Because if we go into our past, all it's going to do is totally confuse us. And we will go through the same emotions, the same promises he made to you. The same... Deborah, do you hear me? You don't need to write it down. I'm going to give you his handouts. What I do. No, I didn't think you were thinking about that. I'm only kidding. The emotions that drive people is the attachment they have to who they think they are. So if they feel a certain way, they say, I am feeling good. Therefore, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling bad, therefore things are bad. It's not true. It's just your thinking is the problem. There is nothing bad and nothing good. Because we live in a world where things are born and things will die. That's just the way it is. By not accepting a death, i.e. a relationship coming to an end, by not accepting that we're... Because let me tell you, in each of your minds, if I was to ask you and give you pillar points, or points where you made major changes in your life, I'll go through some of them, and I guarantee you can all remember them. First day you went to nursery. No, you don't remember that. You never went to nursery.
I did remember.
The first day we went to primary school. The day we left primary school. The day we fell in love. The day that we turned 18, 16, 14, became a teenager. There are points in our life. Because don't get me wrong, not wrong having a life. I don't mean to say you should not have memories. Completely different. But the memories are not who we are. Because we've already said that you're not that 5-year-old, 10-year-old or 15-year-old anymore.